So I've been messing with Absynth a little bit more this week, and I came up with a cool trick, I think. And I work with the Granular engine again. And what I did is I loaded a drum beat, and then I frozen the drum beat by setting the timing in the mod page to 0. So now I can control which part of the drum beat I want to use, because it's not scrolling through the sample, it's freezing the sample. And then when you go to the main, here where it says start, you can find the sounds in the drum beat that you like. So for example, if it would be at 0, normally there would be a kick, because a kick is in most cases the first hit of a drum beat. So and then I modulated the amp of that Granular engine, and this is what it sounds like. Oh, and I need to turn this off. So what I did is, if we go to the envelope page, you can see that I got a lot of stuff here, but not everything is used. This one, oscillator C amp, that's the one I modulated for the rhythm. And the sample is frozen, so it gets really distorted. And this first, well, actually every hit is the kick hit, but here I give it a little bit more volume, so it's going to be very loud on the first hit, and then it's just a loop. And now we can scroll through the sample and see which part we like. And this is in percentages, so 100 would be the full loop. So you could expect another kick at around 50. And it is, so the snare should be somewhere in the middle here. There it is. But I like the kick sound the most for this one, and it's just a pretty boring drum loop, but this way you can give it a lot more interest. And then I added a wave shaper, so without it would sound like this. And then a filter, just a normal low pass, and I think that one is also modulated. Let's see. Yep, that's this one. And we can turn the grid off for a second. Now we can drag these dots more freely. See if we can tweak it a little bit more. So that's also a cool sound. And then what I did is, first off I added another oscillator to make sort of a melody. And this, let's see quickly, it's just a saw wave on fractalized mode. And in fractalized mode the waveform is copied to itself, which gives you more overtones or harmonics. After that I've set the frequency shifter, and I set this one to transpose, and I think normally it would be on ratio, but with transpose it's a little bit easier to get the right tone that you're looking for. And I've used a morph wave there. You can see it morph here. And I morphed that with an envelope. Let's see, oscillator B, yeah, with this one. And to set that up, you need to go to a new envelope and then select mod B and then say wave morph, because you can't right click it here, I think. Oh, you can. Well, it's even easier. You can also right click the image. And then there's just a normal low pass filter with some modulation and another wave shaper. And as you can hear, I modulated the pitch. So oscillator B, main pitch. Just a simple melody. And then together with the oscillator C, so the sample. But a main thing from the sound also comes from modulating the wet control in the effects panel, because I've used the Etherizer effect, and this wet knob I modulated with an envelope. So if we take the dry all the way down, you can hear just the wet modulating. And to do that, just right click on the knob here and say modulate or create a new envelope. And then this is the rhythm that I've made for that. And it's a really cool trick to modulate just the wet, and sometimes you can leave the dry all the way down the whole time, or you can also modulate the dry. I think that would be even more interesting. And then all these Etherizer settings are pretty basic. I think I only turned the feedback up and I synced it to my tempo. What I can do is use a filter like I showed last week to give it some sort of melody or tone. And I can transpose this. And this is just a little bit scanning for stuff that you like. It's not really predictable, so you have to try some stuff and see what you like. But for now I like this one off. And let's see what else is there. I think that's pretty much it. And with this drum loop, you can have a lot of fun. So this module, this granular thing, is something that you should be a little bit. You should spend some time with this, because for example, this one I've tweaked a lot here to get it the way I like it, with the density and the random frequencies. And then I increase the size and some random timing. And you could try a random amp, but in most cases I don't really like that. Makes it a little bit too inconsistent for this sound. So then the wave shaper, to go over it quickly, just normal, regular on sine, a filter with filter modulation. Yeah, and that's it. And you can tweak the filter to your liking. I think we can make it a little bit better. Filter this one. And you can try to select everything and make it a little bit less filtered. Or maybe maybe, that would also be cool, select all of these points and click Control and set it to performance controller. I don't want that one. No, I do want that one. I don't want the timing, but I do want the amp. So yeah, some real cool stuff that you can do with this. You can see now that it's modulated. And then at your basic melody, you could also do that in another synthesizer to have a little bit more control. And you're pretty much there. So the main thing is modulating the wet in this preset and freezing the sample. Don't forget, you need to set this timing. I never know if I explain too much or it is very clear what I'm doing, but you need to set the timing to 0, and the start point, that is the one you can tweak. And you can search for the best sounds, because now it's static and it will stay on the time that you select here. It's not looping. If I would set this to 100 please, then it scrolls through the sample. And that's also cool, but it's not what we want in this case. It makes it a little bit more chaotic. So this one we set to 0, then the sample gets frozen, and then we choose the best spot in the sample or loop. In most cases that is going to be the kick, but the snare can also be cool. And you can make great bass sounds, for example, with the snare. And you can make the envelopes a little bit more subtle to get rid of the clicking. I think those clicks are coming from this one. So if you want to avoid that, you can turn off the grid for a second and then make this a little bit more smoother. So like that. And you need to do that for all the points in that case. So that's it. Thank you. Have fun, and also give some feedback and give some ideas on Facebook or YouTube for new videos, or comment on the stuff that you like, so I know what you guys want to learn. And that's it. So see you next week.